heading into with so much at stake still, these final two games, going to go on the road, do you guys embrace that and knowing exactly what's out there for you if you can handle it?
Yeah, well, you don't want to look at the BCS. You don't want to look at all the awards and honors yet, but you just want to look at the opponent. You realize that you have enough talent on your team to beat the next two opponents. So that should be enough. That should be enough motivation. Yeah.
Now, you may have already answered this, but what is your expectation going into Death Valley? Have you ever been there before? What are you looking forward to in that game?
Well, I've never been to Death Valley before, but I just hear from the home audience how great of experience it is for them. I hear that's a terrible experience for the visiting team, so I just expect a lot of stuff to be thrown at us. Terrible, pretty much just them trying to make us as uncomfortable as possible. We've been to terrible environments before. We know it's business. We know we have to create our own energy. It's not going to be much different from going to some other visiting team, going to some other stadium.
So what do you think is the biggest challenge with LSU, and besides the atmosphere within their team itself?
The biggest challenge for the D-line is getting pressure on Zach Mettenberg, because you know that he can throw the ball at number 80 and number 3, who are two of the top receivers in the country. That's the biggest challenge for us.
What are your impressions of Death Valley? Have you ever been? Have you just seen it on TV? What do you think of it?
You know, I always see it on TV. I've never had the opportunity to go down there, but it's one of those stadiums that is like Kyle Field in a sense. I know I'm biased, but I think Kyle Field is second to none, as I've mentioned multiple times. But Death Valley is a great place. They are rowdy, and they do a great job of backing their team. And we have every mentality to go in and try to take the crowd out early and start fast, get back to what we've been missing the past couple weeks. But Death Valley is a really exciting place, and personally for me, I'm looking forward to finally getting to go to a venue like that, because you see it on TV, you see the camera shaking when it's not supposed to.
Okay.
It looks exciting. So.
You guys have been so good on the road, and you've talked about creating your own energy, starting fast. Is this unique, though? I mean, do you think back to, does it compare maybe with Alabama only? I mean, there's, like you're saying, there's only certain environments that reach this level.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, that's a great point. There are only so many college campuses that are able to, get their students involved, get their fans involved, and regardless of their record, LSU is a great football team. I mean, they've lost to some very good teams, and creating our own energy is going to be huge. But when you go on the road, you have to realize that it's you and your teammates against what seems like the world, and it's a very small world. It's that stadium, but it's going to be a really exciting thing, and we all love and embrace that opportunity, because that's when teammates become best friends, is when you go into a place where there's blood, sweat, and tears virtually, and get to unite together and go against 100,000 plus people. So
how do you prepare or anticipate the crowd noise? I mean, a lot is made of Death Valley. Do you kind of factor that in, or just do the regular thing?
Just stay focused. I mean, it's going to be loud. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Just stay focused on the small things. That's all we can do.
Does it put extra pressure on you to have to, face these two teams that, even though LSU has a little bit of a weaker record right now, they're still a tough team, and you got Missouri, who's done really well this season. Do you feel a little bit of added pressure to close out the season strong?
No pressure, really. I mean, it's still a game. Every week it's pressure to win, so the only pressure there is we got to win each game.
What are some of the key aspects that you're focusing on looking ahead to these next 2 weeks to make sure the defense finishes the season out strong?
First and foremost, we want to stop the run. Our front seven will be looking forward to stopping the run against LSU, because that's their power attack. It's the ground game. Secondly, you have to have great eyes on the back end for the play action pass. If we can stop the run and have great eyes in the back end, I feel like that'll be a great game for us defensively.
Anything that you're kind of taking stock of as the season does wind down, things that you're storing for your memories down the road?
Of course, this being my senior year, man, each and every game is just something to embrace, You never know, what the future holds, but, I know that I have 2 more games, for sure in college, plus our bowl game. And it's just every moment is just something for me to embrace. As a senior going out, I just want to go out on top. So each and every win is always memorable.